I miss my son so much. And I think, how can my mom not miss me? And I realize it's not at all the same. They never missed me because they had to rewrite who I was to do what they're doing. So it's not like they're sitting there thinking about the daughter that they could have had who is, thoughtful and devoted and loyal and, all the things that I was. The person that I was is gone. The person that I was is erased. She's dead and she never even existed. That's what's so brutal, because what's so brutal about that is that that's what I was living for. I was living for recognition. I was living for them to say, oh, you were a good daughter. And just that is never going to come, because they can't. They can't have me be a good daughter and do what they did. And they can't be wrong for doing what they did. They have to be right for doing what they did. So I have to be a terrible person. And so they have to only now see me as the terrible person that would abandon, so somebody I would never be, somebody who would do something I would never do that would make no sense. Here I was disabled, I was sick, my husband just left me, I was scared to death, I had, I needed my family. Why would I ever have abandoned them? It makes zero sense. Absolutely zero sense. But that's the story they tell, and that makes more sense, I guess, to the masses of people than that a mother and a father and a brother would leave their daughter in her hour of need when her husband is abandoning her and stealing all of her assets and all that stuff. It makes no sense that they would do that. And somehow more plausible that maybe for some reason, I would abandon all of them. I mean, really, if they were ever pinned down and really asked questions about it, it would make no sense at all. But that's what they're able to tell themselves. And so that is why they don't ever miss me. They don't ever have to miss me, because I'm not even me. I wasn't the person I was. They can't even appreciate. First of all, because they are shallow and superficial, and we can only see people really as we are, not as they are. So they didn't even have the capabilities of being, like I was seeing them as parents, like I was, as loving parent and people with integrity and all this stuff, and how could they, I saw them so much better than they were, and so when they betrayed me, it was this brutal betrayal, because I saw them like me, but they were never like me. So I really missed them, because I missed what we should have had, what I thought we could have had, right? And it never existed at all. Whereas on the other hand, they really did have something real with me, but they couldn't appreciate it because they couldn't even conceive of it, because it wasn't true. It wasn't who they were. They were disloyal and didn't have a conscience and didn't care about my needs and all that stuff. And so that's who I was to them. So that's all they lost. This was a real mind shift for me to understand. Why they were if I'd only gotten this way back when I was waiting and thinking, they're going to come around. They're going to come around and do the right thing, because it really didn't make any sense. It was like, why would they turn on me? It really, in practical terms, it makes zero sense why they would ever have turned on me, because I was the best thing they had going. I was this really devoted daughter. Didn't help their lives at all in any way to have kicked me to the curb. But they just couldn't conceive of who I was. If I loved them, something must be fatally wrong with me, or if I was their child, something would be fatally wrong with me, which was exactly the opposite of how it seemed. It seemed like they were saying, because I was their child, I was just super lucky. And knowing who they were, they assumed I was the same as them. So they really don't have any idea what they lost. They have no idea what they lost. They have no idea that they lost, a person who really, truly unconditionally loved them and was completely devoted to them and loyal to them and would have done anything for them. The point I guess I'm trying to make in this video is just that it is really, truly hopeless. It really does not get any better. And with time does nothing to heal anything. And what I've seen happen with time is that it has only given them time to further commiserate, further run in the grooves of this, rewear and retell this story, so that it's so deeply ingrained in who they are now, even though it makes zero sense. And they've written things right out of the story. So I'm sure that they have no idea what really happened in our lives anymore, because they've written so much out of the story. I'll bet you, for instance, that they have no idea that it's written completely out of the story that I almost died. That heart attack and that near-death experience and all that, I think that's completely written out of the story. And what's replaced it is this whole myth and this theory about drug abuse, and that was what the health problem was, which was never true. But I think that is the story that they would remember. That's the story that they would tell. And along with this whole way that they completely systematically betrayed me, did a lot of things against the law, a lot of things really underhandedly to try and undermine me, steal from me, make things really difficult for me, make the world chaotic and dangerous and scary for my kids. They don't remember any of that. All they're going to remember is poor them, and that they were these great parents, and their daughter just for some unknown reason just abandoned the family. They are such cowards about any of this that they're not going to check any of it out. They're not going to go to counseling. It's not like they believe it with such conviction that they're going to go to bat for that story. They're not going to go to counseling, or they're not going to go check out my videos and see what I'm saying, or they're going to, that's not what they're going to do. They don't want to go there. They don't have to prove it, because they must know on some level they know it's BS. So they're not going to try and look for evidence of it, because they know there isn't any. But yeah, I mean, some of the story, some of the things are just really outrageous. I mean, there's some of the most outlandish stories that they would tell about what the justification is for what they're doing is just, super, super crazy. So yeah. Anyway, but that's it. So there is no healing. There is no healing. There's no improvement. There's nothing better. And then when you got you got the next generation, I'm thinking, well, they're not going to be harmful to him, but they are, because he needs to live in integrity. He needs to be around people that validate his life, validate his existence, see who he is. Don't try and make him into who they need him to be. Don't try and retell the story of who his mother is and who his brother is in a way that isn't true. That's not what he needs. That's not helpful to him. That's not going to be healthy for him at all. And so I hope that he sees that, because, I obviously can't say don't go there. But, I want him to be around people that love him, not people that are going to use him, and people that would certainly hurt him if they had any reason to. And here's the thing, too. And I told him this today, and, sometimes I wonder how far he can go. But I told him this today. I said, the truth is that I think that there's a piece of them, especially with your dad, that is glad that I lost your brother. Because what he was doing for years was just trying to take them away from me. And he didn't care what it did to hurt them. He didn't care what it was doing to them. He just wanted me to lose them. And so I think that there is a piece of him that's like, I won. Feels he won because my son is gone. And I believe that. Absolutely, I do. I absolutely believe that that's true. And he didn't really lose anything, except for ongoing narcissistic supply, torturing my son, and eventually, getting to this to go on longer and longer, and driving him to a grave 10 years from now. That would have been about all that he lost. But he didn't want my son to be happy and successful and living a good life, and he didn't want that at all. There was no sign of anything that would support that. He wanted to keep my sons down. He wanted to destroy their lives. He wanted to take them from me, and that was it. And he wanted to destroy us. And so, he almost killed me. He did kill my son. And there's nothing to make me think that he wouldn't do what he could to hurt my other son. And so I don't want him around him.